Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about Chapter 4. It begins with managing money. Now, in the first section, called Section 4A, we're going to be talking about how to take control of your finances. Okay? So here we're going to be dealing with how to manage our money. And when it comes to being happy, studies show that the amount of money you have will be less important than having your personal finances under control. And for people who manage their money well, they are more likely to say that they're happy, even when they're not particularly wealthy. So here, if you want to attain happiness, the first step is to make sure that you understand your personal finances enough to keep them under control. So here's how we can control our finances here. That's the first thing we'll talk about here, okay? First step of gaining control is to keep track of your finances. You should always know your bank account balance so that you never need to worry about overdrafts or having your debit card rejected. Also, you should know what you're spending on the credit card and whether it's going to be possible for you to pay off the card at the end of the month, or if your spending will dig you deeper into debt. And of course, you should spend money wisely and at a level that you can afford. So here's some tips for controlling your finances. Number one, know your bank balance. And avoid bouncing a check if you have a debit card or have a debit card rejected. So try to avoid bouncing checks or having the debit card declined. Then you want to know what you spend in particular. So keep track of your debit and credit card spending. Don't buy on impulse. Think first, buy only if the purchase makes sense. And also, you might want to buy just what you need. If it's a need, then go ahead and buy it. Otherwise, don't. Make a budget and don't overspend it. Okay? Now, here's the first example that deals with spending. He wanted to decide whether the following statement makes sense or is clearly true or does not make sense or is clearly false, and explain. Here, in this situation, my monthly cash flow was negative $132, which explained why my credit card debt kept rising. And in this case, in the homework, you're going to choose one of these answers here. And if you look at the choices here, okay, you're going to see that it's going to be answer A. In this case here, this statement makes sense because a cash flow of negative $132 means that if he doesn't have any money saved, then any money that he spends must be borrowed from a credit card. Okay. So with a negative cash flow, that means he's probably using a credit card. Okay. And the debt is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. Example 2. Let's say Brandon discovered that his daily routine of buying a slice of pizza and a soda at lunch was costing him more than $1,700 per year. Okay, and these are the choices here. Now, let's look at this. There are 365 days in a year, so if I take that $1,700, divide that by the 365 days, this will be approximately $4.66 per day. Okay? So, based on these choices of answers here, it's going to be this one right here. That this statement makes sense because this would mean that a slice of pizza and a soda cost him about $5 a day. And here, $4.66 is approximately $5. Okay, Let's look at the next example here. Here you're going to compute the total cost per year of the following pair of expenses, then complete the sentence. On an annual basis, the first set of expenses is how much of a percent of the second set of expenses. In this case here, Maria spends $21 on lottery tickets every week and spends $137 per month on food. And we're looking at on an annual basis. The money spent on lottery tickets is what percent of the money spent to buy food? Well, she's spending $21 per week on lottery tickets, and there are 52 weeks in a year. So if you multiply $21 times the 52 weeks in a year, on an annual basis, she's spending $1,092. And then $137 per month on food. There are 12 months in a year, so if we multiply $137 times 12, you're going to get $1,644 annually on food. So now we want to find out the money spent on lottery tickets is what percent of the money spent on food. Well, she spent $1,092 on lottery tickets, so we're going to take $1,092, divide that by the annual amount spent on food. That's $1,644. So on the calculator, if you do 1,092 times, divided by 1644, you're going to end up with 0.6642. But we want a percent. So that means we need to take that 0.6642, multiply that by 100%. Anytime you change a percent to a decimal to a percent, you always take that decimal value multiplied by 100%, which will be 66.42%. Now, if we round to the nearest percent, to the nearest whole number percent, this will be approximately, not 67, 66%, because that 4 is less than 5, so we'll leave the 6 as is. So on an annual basis, the money spent on lottery tickets is 66% of the money spent on food. All right, now let's look at the next example here, example 4. So you see, we're going to compute the total cost per year for the following pair of expenses, then complete the sentence. On an annual basis, the first set of expenses is what percent of the second set of expenses. Suzanne's cell phone bill is $70 per month, and she spent $218 per year on student health insurance. Well, we're looking for the annual basis here. So here, she's spending $70 per month. And there are 12 months in a year. So if I multiply 70 times 12, I will get $840. So Suzanne is spending $840 per month on her phone bill. And she's spending $218 per year on the student health insurance. So already that amount is per year. So now the money spent on her cell phone bill is what percent of the money spent on student health insurance. So we'll take 840, which is the annual amount spent on the phone bill, divide that by the annual amount spent on health insurance, that's $218. So 840 divided by 218 will give you 3.8532. Now we need to convert that decimal to a percent. So here we're going to take the 3.8532, multiply that by 100%. That will give you 385.32. Now if you wanted to, you can do that in the calculator. Multiply by 100, you'll get that number as a percent. Now to the nearest percent, it will be approximately 385%. So on an annual basis, the money spent on her cell phone bill is 385% of the money spent on student health insurance. Okay. All right, example 5. Vern buys 9 lottery tickets each week at a cost of $3 each and spends $900 per year on his textbooks. And on an annual basis, the money spent on lottery tickets is what percent of the money spent to buy textbooks. Now he's buying 9 lottery tickets at a cost of $3 each. So we got to multiply 9 times 3. Okay. Now he's doing this each week, so we have to multiply by 52 because there are 52 weeks in a year. So if I do 9 times 3 times 52, we're going to get $1,404 a year. So he's spending $1,404 per year on lottery tickets. Now the $900 per year is already on an annual basis for textbooks. So what percent of the money spent to buy textbooks is the amount of money spent on lottery tickets? So here we want to find out that percent. So I'm going to take the 1,404, divide that by 900. Okay? Because it says here the first expense is what percent of the second set of expenses here. So 1,404, divide that by 900. This will be 1.56 as a decimal. But we want that as a percent, so we need to multiply by 100%. So if I do 1.56 times 100, I'm going to get 156%. So in this case here, on an annual basis, the money spent on lottery tickets is 156% of the money spent to buy textbooks. Okay, now let's look at the next example. Now it says here, find the monthly interest payment in the situation described below, and assume that the monthly interest is 1/12 of the annual interest rate. You maintain an average balance of $375 on your credit card, which carries a 24% annual interest rate. And you want to find out what the monthly interest payment is. Okay. Now let's first find out what the monthly interest rate is going to be. Now, that's going to be 1/12. Sorry about that. It'd be 1/12 multiplied by the 24% annual interest rate. Well, if I do 24 divided by 12, I'm going to get 2. So the monthly interest rate will be 2%. Okay, now let's convert 2% to a decimal. Okay. Now what I would do here is divide by 100%. Anytime you're converting from a percent to a decimal, you divide by 100 and drop the percent sign. So if I do 2 divided by 100, that will be 0.2%. Well, just 0.02. So 2% as a decimal will be 0.02. Okay, now I got a $375 credit card balance. Take that amount and multiply it by the 0.02. You're going to get 7.5. Or in dollars and cents, $7.50. So in this case, a monthly interest payment would be $7.50. Okay. Now for the next example, you maintain an average balance of $600 on your credit card, and that carries a 24% annual interest rate. Now again, the monthly interest rate, that's going to be 1/12 of that annual rate of 24%. And we already did this before in the last example. They came out to be 2%. So that's our monthly interest rate. And then if I convert that to a decimal by dividing 2 by 100, I'm going to get 0.02. Again, drop the percent sign, divide by 100. So 2 divided by 100 will be 0.02 for 2%. Now we got a balance of $600. Let's multiply that by 0.02. You're going to end up with $12. So the monthly interest payment would be $12 for this situation. Okay. All right, next we'll look at mastering the basics of budget. Now here, making a budget means keeping track of how much money you have coming in and going out, and then deciding what adjustments you're going to need to make. So here's a 4-step budget making process. Okay. First of all, you'll list all of your monthly income. Be sure to include any average monthly amount for any income that you do not receive monthly, such as a once-a-year payment. And then number 2, determine your average monthly expenses. You want to include the average amount for expenses that do not recur monthly, such as expenses for tuition, books, vacations, insurance, holiday gifts. Number 3, determine your monthly your net monthly cash flow by subtracting your total expenses from your total income. And then finally, make whatever adjustments that you may need in order to stay within the budget that you would like. Okay, now let's look at this example, example 8. Sarah pays $3,600 for tuition and fees for each of the 2 semesters, plus an additional $210 for textbooks each semester. And here we want the pro-rated monthly cost for tuition and fees and textbooks. Let's find out how much this would cost for 1 year. For each of the 2 semesters, she's paying $3,600. So we're going to have to add $3,600 twice. And then each semester, Sarah is paying $210 for textbooks. So we got to add $210 twice. So if I add all of this up, we'll end up with $7,620. That would be the yearly cost for tuition and fees and textbooks. Now we want a pro-rated monthly cost. So in this case here, we're going to take that $7,620, and since there are 12 months in a year, we're going to divide that by 12. And you'll end up with $635. So the pro-rated monthly cost for tuition and fees and textbooks will be $635. All right, now the next example. In this case here, during 1 year, Saul takes 15 credit hours for each of the 3 quarters. Tuition and fees amount to $610 per credit hour. Textbooks average $410 per quarter. And here I want the pro-rated monthly cost for tuition and fees and textbooks. Okay, now he's taking 15 credit hours for each of the 3 quarters. So let's do this. Starting with the tuition. Here we got 15 credit hours at $610 per credit hour, which is what he's paying. So here, this is going to be probably going to be 15 times 610. That'd be $9,150 per quarter. Okay. Now, this is for each of the 3 quarters that he attends school. So here, $9,150, multiply that by 3 quarters in an academic year that he attends. So here for the year, he's paying $27,450 for tuition. Okay, and now for textbooks. Now here he's paying $410 per quarter. Now this is for 3 quarters, so we multiply 410 times 3, we're going to get $1,230 for textbooks for that entire year. Okay. Now for the total cost, we're going to add the tuition amount of $27,450 to the $1,230 for textbooks. You're going to get $28,680 for the entire year. And that's for tuition and fees and textbooks. That's the annual amount. Now we want the prorated monthly cost. So that $28,680 will be divided by 12 because there are 12 months in a year. And this will end up being $2,390 per month. So the prorated monthly cost for tuition and fees and textbooks, $2,390. Okay, let's look at the next example here. The expenses and income of an individual are given in the table form from the right. In table form to the right. Find the net monthly cash flow. It could be positive or negative. Assume salaries and wages are after taxes. When you need to convert between weeks and months, we're going to assume that 1 month is equivalent to 4 weeks. So here is what we have here. And we want the net monthly cash flow. So we've got to look at each individual item per month. Some are in per month, some are not. Like in income, it's already per month for the part-time job. The college fund from grandparents, that's already per month, but the scholarship is an amount given by year. We need to convert that to a scholarship amount per month, okay? So here the scholarship per month is this. That's $6,000. We're going to divide that by, well, there are 12 months in a year. Divide that by 12. So 6,000 divided by 12 would give us $500 per month. So on average, the scholarship amount is $500 per month. Okay. Now under expenses, the rent is already in a per month. The groceries is per week. Okay. Let's look at groceries per month. Now your total is $50 per week. Now in this case here, there are 4 weeks in 1 month. 4 weeks in a month. So I'm going to multiply 4 weeks for 1 month. So if I do 50 times 4, that's going to give me $200 per month. Okay? So the groceries per month will be $200 per month. Now, if you look at the tuition and fees, that's twice a year, $2,400 twice a year. Let's look at tuition and fees per month. Okay. Now, in this case, we're told $2,400 per, twice a year. Twice is the number two, so we need to multiply by two. So we got 2,400 times two. Now we're going to multiply by. Now let's think about this. In a year, there are 12 months in a year. So I need to multiply by 1 over 12. Okay? Because I got the annual amount, I want to break that up into a monthly amount, so we need to divide by 12. So 2,400 times 2 divided by 12 will end up with $400 per month. Okay. And there's one more thing, the incidentals, that's $700 per week. $70 per week. Just like I did for groceries per month, I had to multiply by 4 weeks in a month, because we're told that 1 month is equivalent to 4 weeks. And if I multiply $70 times 4, that would end up being $280 per month. Okay. So in this case, the objective here is you want the net monthly cash flow, so everything has to be per month. Okay, now let's find out what the monthly income is. The total monthly income from a part-time job, which is $800 per month. We're going to add that to the college fund from grandparents, that's $400 per month. Now the scholarship, we found that out, we prorated that to $500 a month. So add 800, 400, and 500 together, you're going to get $1,700 for a total monthly income. And then for your monthly expenses, well, the rent is already $450 per month. That's already a per month amount. Groceries, we found that out to be $200 per month, so we had to add $200 to the $450. Tuition and fees, we found that out to be $400 per month, and the incidentals was $280 per month. So add $450, $200, $400, and $280, you're going to get $1,330 for monthly expenses. Okay, now, this is where we find our net monthly income. And to do that, you take your income, subtract from it the expenses that you have each month. Well, our monthly income was $1,700 minus the expenses was $1,330 for that month. Subtract $1,330 from $1,700, you're going to get $370. So the net monthly cash flow is a positive $370 per month. Okay. Okay, let's look at another example of this. Here, the expenses and income of an individual are given in table form to the right, and we want to find the net monthly cash flow. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the income. We need to convert each one of these in a per month amount because we're looking for the net monthly cash flow. So here, the salary is $24,000 per year. We need that salary to be per month. So if I take $24,400, divide that by 12, because there are 12 months in a year, that will give me the monthly salary, which is, and we're going to round this off to the nearest dollar, $2,033. Okay. Now the pottery sales are already in a dollar amount per month. So here we can go ahead and find out what that total monthly income is. We'll add that $2,033 to the $231. We'll end up with $2,264. So this person's monthly income would be $2,264. Okay, now let's look at our expenses here. Got a lot of them here. The house payments is already on a per month basis. The groceries is not. It's on a per week basis, but we're told that 1 month is equivalent to 4 weeks. So, to find the groceries per month, we got to do $80 times 4. So if I do $80 times 4, I'm going to get $320. So this person's spending $320 per month on groceries. Household expenses is already on a per month basis, so is health insurance, but the car insurance is not. He's paying $500 twice a year. So let's say car insurance per month. That's $500. He's paying it twice a year, so we need to multiply by 2. And to find the monthly amount that he's paying, we'll divide by 12, or multiply by 1/12. So 500 times 2 times 1 divided by 12. I'm going to say approximately to the nearest dollar, $83 that this person is paying per month on car insurance. Let's see, savings plan is already in a per month basis. Donations is not. So we need to find out how much in donations this person is given per month. So it'd be 570 multiplied by 1/12. Because there are 12 months in a year. 570 times 1 divided by 12 will be 47.5. Or approximately, let's say $48. Since they're going to want our answers to the nearest dollar. Okay. Now the miscellaneous is already per month. Okay. So now we can find out what the total monthly expense is. Going down this list here, we got $790 per month for the house payment. We're going to add that to groceries, that's $320 per month. Household expenses is $130 a month. Health insurance, $340 per month. The car insurance, that came out to be $83 a month. The savings plan, $35 a month. Donations is $48 per month. Miscellaneous is $600 per month. So if we add all of these together, you're going to get $2,346 in monthly expenses. So now we need to know what the net monthly income is. That's going to be income minus expenses. So if I do $2,264, which is the income, minus the expenses of $2,346, that net will be a negative amount of $82. So the net monthly cash flow will be negative $82. So this is an example of a situation where this person might need to make whatever adjustments in these expenses here. Okay, let's look at how we can adjust our budget here. Okay, so that's the next thing we'll talk about, how to adjust the budget. Once you evaluate your current budget, you will almost certainly want to make adjustments to improve your cash flow for the future. Critical thinking skills are needed in order to come up with a plan that makes sense for you. Also, it might be helpful to evaluate your own spending plan against the average spending patterns. So here in this example, we got this. The accompanying figure summarizes the average spending patterns for people of different ages in a certain nation. Determine whether the spending pattern given below is equal to, above, or below the national average. Assume that salaries and wages are after taxes. So this is what the figure looks like here. Now I know it's in black and white, but here the top bar represents under 35, the one in the middle between 35 and 64, and the one on the bottom 65 and older. Okay, so in this case here, a single 30-year-old woman with a monthly salary of $3,500 spends $960 per month on rent. So to find that out, what we need to do is find out what the percentage is spent on rent, which is similar to housing here in this particular figure. Okay, this person is spending $960 per month on rent. We're going to divide that by her monthly salary of $3,500. And we know we need to convert that to a percent, so we need to multiply by 100%. So 960 divided by 3,500 times 100%. Let's say, and I'm going to say 27.4%, since these percentages are to one decimal place. So this 30-year-old woman, single, is spending about 27.4% on rent. Now let's compare that to this graph right here under housing. She's 30 years old, so we need to look at the under 35 category, which is this top bar here at the top. And it says here 34.0%. So the national average there, 34.0%. Now, based on her percentage and the national average, if we compare those two, here, this woman's spending pattern is below the national average because 27.4% is less than 34. So she's spending below the national average of 34% on her rent. Okay. Here's another example. A couple under the age of 30 has a combined household income of $4,000 per month and spends $200 per month on entertainment. Okay. So in this case, we look at entertainment, and that's going to be these right here. Now, under the age of 30, so we need to look at under 35 to get the percentage for entertainment. And in this case, that's 5%. So the national average for entertainment is 5%. Now, what's this couple's percentage spent on entertainment? Okay, in this case here, they're spending $200 per month on entertainment. We're going to divide that by the monthly household income of $4,000. And then multiply that by 100% because we do want the percent. So 200 divided by 4,000 times 100, it'd be 5%. So this couple is spending 5% on entertainment based on their income. Now in this case here, the chart does say 5% for someone under 35. And this couple is under the age of 30. Okay. So in this case here, this couple spending pattern is equal to the national average. Okay. They're both the same. Okay, now I think I got another example of this right here. Okay, it says here, a family with a 45-year-old wage earner has an annual household income of $48,000 and spends $1,560 per month on housing. Would this put him above, below, or equal to the national average? Let's see, the national average for housing, and this is a 45-year-old, so we need to look at under the box that says 35 to 64, which is the one in the middle. In this case, it's 32.1%. So that national average is 32.1% for housing. Now, we're given an annual income of $4,800, so we need to convert that to a monthly income. So let's find out what that monthly income is. In this case, the annual salary is $48,000. There's 12 months in a year, so divide that by 12. And you'll end up with $4,000. So the monthly income would be $4,000 here. Now, find the percentage spent on housing. So here, he's spending $1,560 per month on housing. Let's divide that by the monthly income of $4,000 and multiply it by 100%. Again, we want that to be a percent. So 1560 divided by 4,000 times 100. That would be 39%. So here, a 45-year-old wage earner with a family spends 39% on housing. Compare that to the national average of 32.11%. You can see here that this individual is above the national average. Okay? So that spending pattern is above the national average. Okay. Now we're going to look at the long term. So here, when we figure out our monthly budget, that's a crucial step in taking control of your finances but it's only the beginning. Once you understand your budget, you're going to need to start looking at longer term financial issues. Before you make any major expenditure or investment, you want to make sure that you figure out how it would affect your finances over the long term. Like in this example here. Here we're going to look at about buying a car. You currently drive 375 miles per week in a car that gets 20 miles per gallon of gas. You're considering buying a new fuel-efficient car for $14,000 after trading on your current car that gets 49 miles per gallon. Insurance premiums for the new and old car are $800 and $600 per year, respectively. You anticipate spending $2,000 per year on repairs for the old car and having no repairs on the new car. Assume gas costs $3.50 per gallon. Over a 5-year period, is it less expensive to keep your old car or buy a new car? Okay, so now let's look at what we got here. And we're going to do this down at the bottom of this sheet here. First of all, let's start by finding out the mileage per year for the old car. And on the old car, you're currently driving 375 miles per week. And there are 52 weeks in a year, so if I multiply that by 52 weeks in a year, you're going to get 19,500 miles in 1 year. So in 1 year, you're driving 19,500 miles. Now, gas costs $3.50. Okay, so let's look at how much I take that back. The old car gets 20 miles per gallon of gas. 20 miles per gallon. So we want to find out how many gallons per year are we going to be putting into this old car. So take that $19,500 and divide that by the 20 miles to 1 gallon of gas. because that's how much the car is getting. You're going to get 975 gallons of gas per year on that car. Now the gas costs $3.50. So at $3.50 for 975 gallons, you're going to get this amount. Let's see, $3,413. Then you get 3412.50. So, but we're rounding to the nearest dollar. 3413 for gas cost. Now let's look at the total cost for 1 year. For 1 year, you're paying $3,413 for gas. You're also paying, and I'm going to bring this down, for the old car, $600 for insurance per year. And then, I'm going to bring this down again. You anticipate spending $2,000 per year on repairs on that old car. So in 1 year, if we add all of these numbers up together, you're going to get $6,013. You're going to be spending $6,013 in 1 year. But we're looking at over a 5-year period. So if I do 5 times $6,013, we're looking at $30,065. That's the cost of the old car if you were to do all of this over a 5-year period. Now for the new car. Now you're still going to be driving 375 miles per week, okay? For 52 weeks, so here the mileage per year is the same for the old car. Because you can drive a new car or the old car, but still you're going to be driving the same number of miles per week for 52 weeks. Okay? And then next, the gallons per year. On this new car is going to get 49 miles per gallon. So if I take that 19,500, divide that by the 49 miles per gallon, to the nearest whole number, that's going to be approximately 398 gallons in a year. Okay? Now for the cost of gas on this new car, gas cost, the price is $3.50 per gallon for 398 gallons. This will be approximately $1,393. Okay. All I did do 3.50 times 398. Okay, now let's look at the total cost for 1 year on this new car. In this case here, well, that gas is going to be $1,393. the insurance premium on that new car is $800. Okay? And you're not going to have any repairs on that new car. So we're just going to add $1,393 and $800, which will give you $2,193. Okay. Now, for over a 5-year period, the 5-year cost, we just take. Now, here's something here. That car is going to cost you $14,000 here. So we got to include that $14,000 in the 5-year cost. And then we're going to add to it this amount of $2,193 times the 5 years. So now I go ahead and do this on the calculator. 14,000. Add that to 2,193 times 5. This will be $24,965. So in this case, for the new car, that cost will be $24,965. Now, if you compare that to the $30,065 for the cost for the old car over 5 years, which would you think would be more, less expensive? And in this case, buying a new car. Okay. Okay. All right, now let's look at this example here. This deals with salaries here. All right, the table shows the median annual earnings for women and men with various levels of education, assuming the difference in the table remains constant over a 40-year career. Approximately how much does a man with a bachelor's degree earn than a man with a high school education? Okay. So here's that table here. Now let's look at a man with a bachelor's degree. A man with a bachelor's degree earns $66,130 annually. Compare that to the man with a high school education, or just high school only, makes only $40,110. Now let's look at the difference in 1 year. If a man with a bachelor's degree makes $66,130 and a man with a high school education makes $40,110, if we subtract that, we will end up with $26,020. So in 1 year, a man with a bachelor's degree makes $26,020 more than a man with a high school education. But for 40 years, we'll take that difference of $26,020 and multiply it by 40 years. So $26,020 times 40 will give you this number of $1,040,800. So in this case, a man with a bachelor's degree would earn $1,040,800 more than a man with a high school education over a 40-year period. Okay, and that's all there is to that particular problem. Okay, next we'll look at insurance cost. The premium is the amount that you pay to purchase a policy, and those premiums are often, okay? A deductible is the amount that you are personally responsible for before the insurance company pays anything. And then there's a copayment. That usually applies to health insurance, and that's the amount that you will pay each time you use a particular service that is covered by that insurance policy. Okay. So do read over some of those insurance policies there, because usually when you have a deductible for auto insurance, you know you have to pay that upfront out of pocket before the insurance company pays the rest. So in this example here, let's take a look at this one. Many insurance policies carry a deductible provision that states how much of a claim a person must pay out of pocket before the insurance company pays the remaining expenses. For example, if someone files a claim for $350 on a policy with a $200 deductible, he or she pays that $200 and the insurance company will pay the remaining $150. So in the following case, you want to determine how much a person would pay with and without the insurance policy. And we're going to complete parts A through D. So in part A, a person has a car insurance policy with a $700 deductible per claim for collisions. During a 2-year period, the person files claims for $460 and $1,000. The annual premium for the policy is $570. Now, with the insurance policy, we want to find out how much would that person pay, and then how much would it be without the insurance policy, okay? So here, the first claim in Part A was $460. Now, the deductible is $700. Let's compare those two. Here, $460 is less than the deductible of $700. So in this case, that person will have to pay that $460 out of pocket because it is less than the deductible of $700. Okay, so keep in mind they have to pay the first $700, pay up to the first $700 out of pocket, and then the insurance company pays the rest. Here, that's less than $700. The person pays that $460 on that first claim. Now on the second claim, that second claim was $1,000. Compare that to the deductible of $700. That amount is greater, that $1,000 is greater than the $700. So in this case here, that person will only pay the insurance deductible of $700. Okay. Now you're told the annual premium for the policy was $570. Now, this is over a 2-year period, if you recall. So let me bring this down here somewhere. It says during the 2-year period, okay? But the annual premium is $570 here. So here, the cost for 2 years, we have to take 570 multiplied by 2. you'll get $1,140. So the premium over a 2-year period will be $1,140. Okay? Now, let's find out what the cost would be with the insurance policy. Okay? Now, the person has to pay $460. We're going to add that to the $700 has to be paid on the second claim, because it is a deductible provision per claim. Keep that in mind. And then the premiums over 2 years will be $1,140, so we add that. Add 460, 700, and 1,140, you'll end up with $2,300. So with the policy, this person will be paying $2,300. That would be that individual's cost. But without the policy, this person will have to pay the amount of these two claims here, the $460 and the $1,000, without the policy. So if we add $460 and $1,000, that'd be $1,460. Okay. So that's part A right there. Okay, now part B. A person has a car insurance policy with a $200 deductible. And that's per claim for collisions. During a 2-year period, a person files claims for $460 and $1,400. The annual premium for the policy is $690. Okay? So now, on the first claim, it was $460, but the deductible is $200. Here, that person's claim amount is bigger than the deductible, so the person here on that first claim will pay only the deductible of $200 instead of the $460. The remaining $260 the insurance company will pay. Okay. Now, on the second claim, it was $1,400. And that deductible is $200. So if you look at that, the $1,400 is bigger than the $200 deductible. So on this second claim, that person will pay, again, the deductible of $200. Now, in Part B, the annual premium was, in this case, $690. But that cost for 2 years, and this is during a 2-year period, we're going to multiply 690 by 2, and you'll get $1,380 for the cost of those premiums over the 2-year period. And now I want the cost with the policy. Okay, so now on the first claim, he's paying $200. The second claim, he's paying $200. The premiums over the 2 years is $1,380. So we add 200, 200, and $1,380, you're going to get $1,780. So the cost with the policy will be $1,780. Now, without the policy, this person will have to pay the amount of the claim, which is on the first one, $460, and on the second one was $1,400. Add those two together, you're going to get $1,860 that this person will have to pay without that insurance policy. Now, part C is this. A person has a car insurance policy with a $1,000 deductible provision per claim for collisions. During a 2-year period, the person files claims for $280 and $1,700. The annual premium for the policy is $370. Okay? So let's look at the cost with the insurance policy and without the insurance policy. On the first claim, it was $280. The deductible is $1,000. That's less than the deductible. So here, that person will have to pay out of pocket that $280. Okay, next is the second claim. That claim was $1,700. The deductible was $1,000, so that $1,700 claim is bigger than the deductible, so that means this individual will pay the first $1,000, where the insurance company will pay the remaining $700. Okay, now the annual premium. In this case was $370. So the cost for those premiums for 2 years, take 370, multiply it by 2, you'll get $740. So the cost of the 2-year period for this individual will be $740. And let's find out what the cost with the policy. That's going to be the $280 that the person has to pay out of pocket and the $1,000 that the person has to pay out of pocket, plus those premiums over 2 years, so $740. That's going to be $2,020. That's going to be the cost with the policy, $2,020. And then the cost without the policy, well, he'll have to pay those claims of $280 and $1,700. That would be $1,980 that the person will have to pay without the policy. Now, Part D says here, explain why lower insurance premiums go with higher deductibles. And in this case here, the goal of the insurance company is to make a profit, so they have to offset the low premium with a high deductible. Okay. So like in this case here the annual premium was low, but the deductible of $1,000 was kind of high. Okay. All right, the last thing on this page is financial goals on solid understanding. Here you want to find a way to make your budget allow for savings and understand how savings work and how to choose appropriate savings plans. You want to understand the basic mathematics of loans. And then understand how taxes are computed and how they can affect your financial decisions. And then understand how the federal budget affects future personal finances. In future sections here, we're going to be talking about these things here that deals with finances here, dealing with taxes here, and how the federal budget can affect them as well. Okay, so that will complete this video on how to take control of your finances.